Evening, y'all. Chief Prepper here. Apologize for the noisy ass video earlier, but I didn't want to re-record it because I don't do these normally during the day, because my wife doesn't like it. But I felt the information was kind of important to cover. So I'm going to cover something else right now that my feed on YouTube for the last, for sure, month, maybe 2 or 3, has been full of ads advising people not to take out loans, but to take out a loan on their house if they own it. Bad idea. My opinion, do not do that. So if you own your house, you don't have to have house insurance. So if one of the tools they're going to use is to bankrupt people by jacking the interest or the insurance rates up so high that people can't afford it, if you own your house, then you can give them the finger and say, screw you, I ain't taking no insurance. Now, there's a lot of risk with that, because if there's a storm or if you incur damage from a storm, then you're on the hook for all the repairs. So just keep that in mind. And one of the reasons I know about this is because I've actually owned a house. So when you are making mortgage payments, you have principal, which you're paying on the loan, the interest you're paying on the loan, and then you have insurance and taxes rolled into that payment. So when you own it, the principal and interest goes away, and then you become the person who pays your taxes annually normally. Sometimes they offer you a payment plan or a quarterly thing, and then your homeowner's insurance is normally an ugly bill once a year. So, I did a video on insurance rates going up. There's videos out there right now of people, insurance companies just canceling policies, not renewing them, and then, there might not be another insurance person there. My personal belief is the insurance companies are over leveraged on debt with commercial properties that they invested in, and then they've lost their ass on a lot of investments. Pretty much everybody who's over leveraged in commercial property, because commercial properties are the leases are not being extended or they're canceling because companies are allowing employees to work from home instead of bringing them in. Or if they bring them in, they want to bring them in 2 or 3 days a week, or a couple days, or even one day, and then they do what's called in the Army called the hot cotton, where one person gets up and another person comes behind them and goes to bed in the same cot. Well, they do office space like that, where you don't have an assigned cubicle and desk anymore that you can decorate. What you have is a space you go in and you work from, and you occupy while you're there, and then when you leave, someone comes in behind you and uses it. So they cut down that massive amount of money they were spending on office space. So now everybody who's been invested in commercial properties, and I've told you before, when you put money in a savings account or a money market account, or you're paying on an insurance policy, that money's not sitting there. They take that shit and they loan it out. They invest it. And then if they make bad investments or they make bad loans, then they lose money, and then they have to try. Well, in my opinion, they don't need to recoup it. They just need to eat the shit. But corporate America is greedy, so if they're losing money in one place, they're going to try and make it up somewhere else. So I think that's what we're seeing. And then this shit about your car telling on you. For the record, if you get an older car that doesn't have all that fancy fucking technology in it, guess what? They won't tell on you. So, I've got several cars that don't have the fancy technology, and I don't drive the one that has all the technology, and that may be the one that I sell in the next 2 weeks to prepare to make the jump on the property. I might not make it until July, maybe August, depends on what the world is doing, but I'll be prepared to do it ASAP. So, and then the interest rate and then the loan principal won't be too terribly bad, but it ain't gonna be good. It's gonna be another $1,200 to $1,800 a month going out, and it'll be a long-term loan, so it won't be. It's a huge cost, and that doesn't even count. I don't know if I'll be making a loan payment. It may, the taxes may be rolled into it too. But I should be able to get an exemption up to 20 acres. Well, I got 0.63 exemption here, so it'd be 19.37 acres that I could get an exemption on taxes wherever else I'm in Texas. So then you can also get an ag exemption. It's 15 acres. I can put a couple cows and a donkey out there, and then basically get an agriculture farm exemption. So war game everything, ladies and gentlemen. And Canadian Prepper, I'm watching one of his videos right now, but I wanted to do this one. He's bugging out. Basically, he's getting everything he can, and that may be the path I go down. Start investing in solar panels and a solar generator. One property I looked at has a stock tank, but it doesn't have any infrastructure, so it may have to be an off-grid thing for electricity. Build a fire pit, build a carport, basically to put a RV under, because up there around Abilene they get fucking hail like a son of a bitch, and tornadoes and thunderstorms and shit like that. I can have my neighbor who puts in septic tanks for a living go up there and dig me a hole and put a septic tank in and a drain field, and then figure out water. And the other thing is maybe put in a well, well water, septic tank, off-grid electricity, because realistically ain't gonna run a whole lot other than lights, maybe something to power a radio, a refrigerator probably, because I can build a 16 by 16 kind of hut thing, put a fireplace in, wood burning stove. So if you're not thinking like this, I encourage you to, and then put in chicken coop, chicken run. And for those of you who don't know, everything likes chicken, so the best thing to do is not leave your chickens out running loose. The other thing is cover the chicken coop or chicken run, because the chickens need a place to be out of the sun. So if they're cooking in the shade, imagine how bad that shit is. I mean, you're hotter in the sun, so a chicken will be too, and they got a fur coat on. So that pretty much goes for everything. So anyway, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot. Remember, my advice, my opinion, if you own your house, do not take out a loan on it, because then they're going to put a lien against it, and then they can figure out a way to take it from you. So, all right. Again, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot. Share the love when you can. Chief Prepper out.